Oh, Mom bought it for herself from Al's fruit stand. How many years ago?
Probably 5 years ago. I was down there getting some little seedling plants to put in, and this older lady was standing up at the counter, and I don't know if she was short of money or she changed her mind, and she said, I don't think I'll buy this rose. It had one beautiful red rose on it, and I said, well, I think I'll buy that if you don't want it. So I did, and I've not been sorry.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it pretty? This one here is kind of dead now. But isn't it just a gorgeous thing? Beautiful color.
Very
Annie
pretty.
and some of the kids put that deal up there for it to fall on. So we'll have to tie up some of these.
One of Mom's many flowers. Say bye, Mom.
Absolutely empty.
Here, you
empty.
This is Harold's 62nd birthday.
A minister of the gospel who's
Mom's
empty?
brother, younger brother.
That way too.
At Helen's house in the same.
I am totally surprised. And Grace has eaten up all my peanuts.
Give us a few phony remarks.
Okay, don't breathe on us.
How about a joke?
Well, he's not looking.
Well, I don't care.
Oh, come on, Helen, look normal.
Yes. Look
If
happy.
anybody talks, talk loud, because I want to pick up on this thing.
Look at the days, Harvey. Look at the days.
They're great.
Get in, Grace, get in here.
seen one of those before.
And don't step on those, we'll hurt you.
Grace, don't step on the flowers.
Try not to.
The sun
Well,
actually,
this is,
the sun even came out for this event. She's
You know the
getting-
compliment I got today from Marty?
Even through a
Let me open that present! Let me open that present!
You want to open that?
This is from Dale and Helen.
You sit down out there and open it.
Here.
What?
Yeah.
See, that's news for me. It's kind of event,
I
like,
can afford it.
I don't, I've never.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I don't get it.
Is it warming up over there, Betty?
Oh, don't open it, honey. Give it to him. No, that's for me. I told him he could open it. Oh, okay.
Sit down, honey, so you don't break it. See, we read this one first, and then we moved in that one. $35 a month.
What's he, are the kids opening Harold's presents?
Mine.
$5
These are mine.
30 or 35. Or even we.
It's everybody's birthday.
Get them all over at once.
You got that card, Helen?
Yeah, that's darling.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks for all the 100 presents they gave me.
You know about Marley. About Marley computer.
Camp 18. Isn't that neat? What is it?
What?
Camp 18. That's where we had that the reunion, right?
Wow.
Yeah, Helen, I got
Take a picture of that.
Helen, I bought 2 cups that day. I was going to give one to Jeanette, but you know, we were so busy and I never did.
Oh,
Is that a video you're making there?
That's where we ate, you know, and then
Harvey, now I can get rid of that blue sweater so you can get rid of that jacket.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
Oh.
Did you get a sweater?
You have a white one, Harold?
White sweater.
Harold, you have a white
sweater.
one.
I have a white one, I don't like it though.
Well,
Why
that's
not?
fine. You can give that one to me then.
Because the sleeves are too long.
too long, that's probably what size is
Why would it be?
large.
I'll take it off your hands.
This is regular, this won't be blue. That's wonderful. I wear sweaters every day of my
What
life.
did you get?
Oh, it's just earrings. Anything.
Earrings. Who's this from?
Okay, Helen, your whole body's in the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't get my design, whatever you do. Give to Grandma Helen. Say happy birthday.
You like those at all, Helen, or not?
Thank you, Karen.
Did you like them at all?
Like this too.
There's my favorite Bible.
I thought that we were going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Cold
Yeah, I do.
Flip on one.
Good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you.
Sun go down already?
I think the cloud's covering it up.
Get the old one out, get the new one here.
The sun is struggling to come out by the having hit
I
it right. Supposed to be summer.
You're gonna tape over that heavy oven or
Never
presents
gotten
for the cars.
We had the second time, we had
John.
to do that on another job.
Very dry.
Where did that come from?
It was a whole,
This is from this lady here, I
I
think.
didn't, I took the.
Grace?
Hold that card up, that's a real
Grace, are
secret.
you giving money away? If you're giving money away, I'd
Yeah,
find some.
Square.
We can't take it with us, you know.
Brother,
handicap
something
accessible,
to
wheelchair accessible.
Open it up, it's kind of wild
5
card.
feet square.
Super duper brother, it says.
Framed with the wall in, and then I just
See?
framed it.
And then I found this
Slipped
at
it in
Bible
and
bookstore. It's got his name on it, Hal.
Oh, wonderful.
But to
The
me,
Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows them that trust in him. And you put that in your Bible.
Have you got exactly the same kind of white sweater as that?
No. It's,
Couldn't find a red one on, that's what you were looking for, wasn't it?
oh no!
They don't have them, people
That'll
like
be
them.
beautiful.
They'll come in
Let me
September,
open
they
this.
said.
I gotta get this on the videotape. Who is this from?
This is a parsonage in Woodburn that we moved to when we first came to Woodburn.
Well, you sure made out like a bandit today.
You're telling me.
Betty, it's warmer over here if you'd rather sit here.
Why can't they all just sit
Are you
there?
This
okay
is
there?
from Dave, Karen, and Shadow.
Yeah, open it up, though. Open it up and you'll laugh.
It's your birthday,
What?
brother, and you're not getting
I
older.
love it. It says,
Oh,
actually,
it's me!
you're not getting older. Well, actually, you are getting older. So why kid yourself? If you think the best years are ahead of you, you're sadly mistaken. It's all downhill from here, bucko. Over the end, zip. So live with it. That's great.
That's from Karen and Dave.
You know, I brought along the.
She finds
I brought
the
along
best
that cap you gave me, that genuine antique
Oh,
person.
did you? Oh, you should be wearing it at all times.
Well, I don't wear caps very much, but I brought it along because I was going to play tennis with him. But he's in such terrible shape, I can't get him out of the one.
They used to every day.
All right.
It's me,
Did you make this yourself, Karen? Or?
I did. I made it last night.
Good heavenly day.
Now wait, there's something else.
Look at that.
Catch
Is
one!
that gonna fit?
I can't believe this.
He's gonna have to go buy a suitcase.
I'll try it on right
Guess
now.
what? I made a man try it on to see if it would compare
Wow,
the
look at
size.
that. Lovely
You
garment.
find a man who is terribly tall and skinny.
Well, he was. Now is that gonna fit?
Fits perfect.
Extra large because I wanted the arms to be.
It fits perfectly. I can't
Helen, you
believe
like the jacket?
My man, is he ever glad he
Helen, nice backside.
Gorgeous, leave it on.
It worked today.
it. Wear it home.
Good day.
I warn you.
Oh, that is absolutely loverly.
That's fantastic. Yeah, you're not supposed to believe the price tag.
The price isn't on there though. Is it on there? Here,
What is this?
this goes with it.
That's full of money, you see.
That goes with it.
But wait, careful not to drop
Stuff
it.
You mean it
full of
comes with
money.
the
Now, what do
jacket?
you like to drink? Huh?
No, I want some coffee.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
lovely
I'll just
thing.
put a lot of milk in it.
Got Listerine and everything in there?
I'm not trying to tell you anything.
Let's go. She thinks that I have bad breath and underarms.
It looks like a
And then a little
it looks
deodorant
like a
helps.
bliss next to it right there.
Isn't this kind of a good idea?
Oh, yeah.
Now if you just want to use it.
For a traveling guy,
Tell me what that is.
refreshment. Oh,
What
that's
is that?
toothpaste. It's a
Toothpaste.
toothpaste.
Have you ever used it?
You know,
And then we have Colgate.
do you realize I was going to buy another small one for my travel?
See?
Elaine, we're
Preordained.
when
Well,
Mary
this is pretty
came to
wonderful, I'll
visit
tell you
you.
that. I gotta try. I should try out this sweater
Taking
too.
Tyler to
Did you
school.
see the balloons?
Um,
Up at noon and we.
Did you pick this one out, Dave?
You down here even.
Did you pick this
I
card
want to
out?
take some pictures. Now, how do I do this? Just, how do I do, honey?
I'll do it.
No, I want you on it a little bit.
You just watch it. Wherever this is at is what you're recording.
All right, go sit over there where I was and don't fall down and go boom.
Got a Ginsu too.
And Helen said to me,
Is that a
Oh, you got extra
Ginsu?
large, did you?
Yes, because I wanted the arms to not be weird.
Is that what day today? I'll tell you that.
with my brother.
You want some cake, Tyler?
No
Okay, come on.
frosting.
Well, Elayne, why don't you come and get one for them?
You would look good
Would
in
you
one.
take extra large or large?
Oh, give him some more sugar.
I said extra because
Just what we need.
Okay, now what do you want for them?
He's already ironed a kite.
I'm a little bit bigger. Not much.
Okay, now
You
what do you want?
want- You're 6'2",
I'll
aren't you?
give you this and you can go in there and take the
6'4".
frosting off if you want.
You're not.
You must be 6'5".
I'm 6'4". You're not 6'4".
Well, I'm
No way.
6'3" then.
So you like this
Get
card,
over
Betty?
here.
Did you see it?
Stand by.
Stand by your
All right.
man.
See who's
He's on horse today,
I'm not gonna
Harvey.
get that one. I'm gonna get a big piece.
Get that thing going. We're-
Turn around
we're
sideways. I
acting.
can't get you both. Turn around sideways.
Hal,
Let me
turn.
get a picture
How
of it.
much? How much though?
Hey, wait a minute, you guys.
Who's tallest?
How much?
about the calf?
Here, wait a minute. Let me do this. Where did you get your cake? Where did you get your cake? Harvey, look.
Don't go real
Look at me.
fast turning it, Mom, or you'll get it blurry. There you go.
Well, we're gonna have
Well, who's the tallest?
we're gonna have a photo.
Should it be out in the sun like this?
Yeah, I told you I was almost that tall. You haven't opened all the presents. There's some behind
There
there.
is no way, Harvey, that I am.
Should we turn it turned off for a
That
minute now?
sweater is not satisfactory. I know something.
Huh? Look at this rabbit. I love that card.
All right.
That is nice.
Joshua.
Thank you. That is nice. Well, I had to have this one, Alice, to balance this one.
garage and cover up your garage. That's what I want to do.
Hey, Dave, I had to have your mother's card. I had to have your mother's card to balance this one you gave me.
You want it back and make it up?
Did you see it?
Smile, you're on
Card?
TV.
Oh, you can see the pictures right in that dog, huh?
I.
That's pretty clever.
Here,
You
Your arm tired,
you
though.
can see what you're taking. That must be one of the newer models.
I said you get.
It is.
That's
That's incredible. It's amazing what they can do these days.
Technology.
Sweater's falling on the floor.
What they call technology.
Spider.
Oh, man.
What are you starting to serve that before people are done opening the presents, Helen? What's the matter with you?
Look at a spider right there.
Oh, it is. A step on that dog.
Dead spider.
dirty you.
Now it's a gone. The spider is just gone.
Well, put it by my purse. You'll get on that pretty pants. It's by the fireplace.
I don't want none just yet. Thank you.
The coffee.
Napkin? Is everybody having a napkin?
I think I got everything. What is it?
No, they're behind there. There's stuff.
Is this supposed to be open too?
Yeah.
What is in here, you guys?
Open it up.
Helen,
Is there a card inside it?
You got
Must be.
Do you want have your coffee just black?
Oh,
Right, can you
no.
on the plate there?
What in the world? Turn a
I
table.
want to be sure you catch get it when he opens that box
Okay.
underneath.
For sure. I'm going to do the whole thing.
Here we go. I got it open. Here's a card. It's from somebody.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, Harold.
That's from Debbie and
That
Doc.
narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Johnny and Debbie. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Thank you. That is beautiful.
Go and help yourself then.
Didn't you get another,
Tyler,
Look at this.
Tyler,
They're
you want a
buying me
fork?
more clothes.
Come on, I'll get you a fork.
What is that
They're buying me more clothes.
Okay, come here. I'll get you a fork.
I'm going to be so well clothed, you wouldn't believe it. It says Oregon State.
Well, I'll get some later. The Beaver State, you know.
Fantastic. It's about time I started rooting for Oregon again, right?
You and Curtis wear the same clothes?
Because Lord willing, I'll be back here someday. Right?
Does Curtis want to come?
My feeling is the same.
That's your feeling too, yeah. Well, how does Steve feel about Oregon?
He likes it here.
Well, does Curtis feel about coming back here?
He's not against it. I suppose he's wondering where he's going to work, but he likes the job that he has.
Yeah, but with his experience, he can probably get another job easy.
Well,
Okay, Dad.
Don't you think?
There's another spider.
There's stuff back there to get at.
what? There more?
In the back.
Back in, Helen.
There's Karen. She's going away out of present.
Is everybody getting gifts today?
Thank you. What are
There's
that?
Karen's.
There's her kitty blanket.
I like
Oh,
I do
look
too.
at that.
That's
Maybe
from,
I'll put this on the couch and then trade off with the other one that's on there.
Betty, you get
You mean the snow one?
I love it. I love that. No, but I need to clean it. I love that, Elayne. That's made that.
Elaine, do you want
Very
coffee?
nice.
Actually, Karen, I was trying to
She doesn't drink coffee.
Are you why are you laughing?
I get tired of because you're replacing my blanket.
No, I'm not. I'm just doing it and then I'm gonna put it back again. I love that blanket.
I like to change things too. It gets boring looking at the same thing.
You want me to put it on top of the other one?
Yeah.
why not?
Which one is one of these from you, Harvey?
Two of them
Karen,
are
I'm
this
Karen.
one and one in the
I
shoebox.
was trying to get Christmas over with early, so I
And
said,
then the card, you can tell the card.
I read the card.
I'm just gonna give her a loaf of bread for Christmas.
Well, do you know what? When you give me all this canned stuff that I eat like crazy.
Well, I can and I give bread and jam and stuff because
What in the world? Coffee! Chevalier coffee.
Oh, that's good.
Who's that from?
He knows I'm completely nutty about coffee. Harvey,
That other one's for me too, that's in the shoebox.
you got animals in there.
is that more coffee?
Yeah, I got a buggy.
You got cold, haven't you, or is that allergy?
Why, of course it's a cold. I've had it for a week.
Don't share.
About time. Boy, whatever this is heavy as all get out. I think it's a miniature bowling ball.
A miniature ball.
Heavy on one end. What in the world? If it's shoes, it's the heaviest shoes I've
I
ever
think the
felt.
kids went to some carnival thing today. Her little girl, Debbie's little girl, she's 6 years old now, and Tim took his too. And we had 2 ball games this morning, so Debbie.
Shoebox, that's for sure.
Roxanne had to be there. They all dressed up in their cute little uniforms. Debbie, you should have got a picture of the kids in their uniform, their ball uniforms.
We got still shots, remember?
Done?
Oh, Helen, you did it.
There's a note in there.
Happy birthday, Pastor Christensen. Here's something to help you with your ministerial duties.
Who's that from?
Yes, Mom.
It's the hammer of Thor.
It's for help with
Now
your
tell us one of your jokes.
help with your ministerial duties. Now either laugh or I'm gonna hit you on the foot.
What, like that?
Make them all up.
Where did you find that?
It was in the dumpster one day.
Oh my gosh.
That's the way it's
This is an absolute, this is a work of art.
Of course it is. I couldn't imagine it. Somebody threw it away and I said, I know what I'll do with that dog.
Down there.
Are you like one of those guys
Well,
that
you
do the
can
shopping
actually
cart
hold
and
it.
garbage
Dave, what
can?
kind of wood
Yeah,
would
down
that
here
head
it's
be
just
made
not
out of?
You can take out anybody's
That
kneecap.
wood must be hard as a rock.
I'll tell you.
Are we all done?
How do you expect me to get this back to New York for France?
Now you gotta go buy a
No,
suitcase.
Betty's thing is back
security.
there. Betty's thing is back
One
there.
more.
All right?
Want some now?
Yes, I'm almost done here, and then I'll have some coffee too.
Is this Betty's?
Yep.
Betty's, thank you.
Yes, he got that.
Come here.
What's the matter,
Sounds
Josh?
like our house.
It's bedtime.
The other day,
Nap time.
they were
Oh, man.
playing, and
I'm not
one of them said something about the
From
other
Betty.
one's chugging cheeks, and that made Lucas cry because
What
he
have we
lost the
got?
answer. That didn't help.
Josh, come here. You want
World.
some of these?
Oh my goodness. Turkish apricots. Love those. And cookies. Am I equipped or what?
Harold, remember those peaches you wanted to eat one of yesterday?
Yes.
They're all going back to the store. They're hard as rocks. And they're rotting.
Yeah.
Never will soften.
That's the way a lot of trail mix. When I hit the Oregon Trail, the Oregon
Get
Trail,
lost in the wilderness.
He knows you're gonna have a long trip
Me.
home, so.
I tell you, you know,
They don't
They
serve
forget
on
to
those
feed you on there.
airplanes.
I'm gonna have these in my room in Fergus Falls.
Right.
Chow down. It's got all kinds of candy in here. This is unbelievable.
This
Oh,
is just like the time when you had your
That's a
herniatomy
doppelganger.
and you went to the hospital and they gave you all those presents.
Herniatomy.
Did you have a herniatomy?
Did you hear? You want to hear a joke, Debbie,
Yes.
for the posterity?
Here's his closing words.
Oh, yes. These two doctors. The patient overheard them conferring on his case. He says, "I don't think there's any question about it. We're going to have to give him a total cashectomy."
That's pretty good.
Nasty doctor's joke.
Sweet cake.
Too sweet?
Oh, that's sweet, all right. What kind of a filling did you have in it?
Say
Raspberry.
goodbye, Harold, and everybody. I'm gonna turn it off.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, this is very nice.
Go ahead.
And we'll let this guy.
First thing that The first thing that we're going to talk about is some of the significant dates concerning our dad.
Look at his receipt on his coat.
A lot of. What are you
We're
laughing?
looking at the receipt on Minnie Pearl's jacket.
Yes, well,
That's okay, leave it on. I like
the
the way it
first thing
looks.
we were going to talk about was my gifts. My jacket that I got, and my sweater. And I can't wear them all at once. But
I laughed when the camera
Got
shakes.
my gold jacket put
I
on.
haven't had a chance to get the price
Leave it
tag
on.
up
Leave it
yet.
there. Leave it there. I want to get it.
Is this thing going or not?
I think it's really
Don't lose
gold
any
to
of this.
leave the
This
price
valuable
tags on.
Helen, are you going to pay attention? You're just going to read the card or something.
$14.95.
Thank you, Grace.
Anyway, I'm going to go through this very quickly because I
Helen,
just
you're
happened
supposed
to
to
find
put
it
your
in here,
dress on,
and I
so
know a
they might
lot
give
of
you
the people
something.
don't know
Against my religion to put dress on.
about these dates.
No, I'm just kidding you.
Now, our dad went to St. Olaf College
You should have
From that-
cried.
from 1922 until 1923. Anybody know that? Does anybody care?
I am so happy to know it. I can't take it. There.
I think it's time for Harold to tell the jokes that Jay Leno said about these bugs. Anyway,
Yeah.
next, later.
Oh no, that's X-rated.
All right.
Oh, that's the only kind we like.
And then he went, believe it or not, he went to Concordia College from 23 to 24 and 24 to 25. Then he went to the Luther Theological Seminary in St. Paul
Highly educated.
from 1925 until 1928 when he got married. And when he got married, his stepmother said, the man's talking about getting married and he's hardly dry behind the ears. And he was 28 years old. And that hardly dry behind the ears, of course, refers to calves because it's the last place that dries out on a calf after it's been born.
Is it? I never knew that.
Anyway, then he got ordained in Central Lutheran Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with J.A. Osgard conducting the service in June 1928. He went to his first parish in Frederick, South Dakota, from 28 to 31, and that's when I was born, in Frederick, South Dakota, in 1929. Then he moved to Geddes, South Dakota, which was his second calling, from 31 to 34.
David, what's
And that's where we lived
what's
in
Elayne
the
doing?
parsonage, and where he took the shotgun and killed the bull snake down by the
That
church.
should be on the
And Harold
camcorder.
and Grace were born there.
Helen,
And what a traumatic
I can
parish.
remember that to this
Parish
day when
that
he
was.
shot that bull snake alongside the church.
Oh, I can't do
Well,
it.
I
I
didn't have
was
any
there.
qualms about it. That poor bull snake was not even poisonous, but he killed it.
Well, we didn't
There
know.
was a
Well,
couple
that's
of other
fine with
bull
me.
snakes that should have killed in that parish too.
There was what?
Two-legged
Done
ones.
the world a real favor.
Boy, I tell you.
Charlie, go get my
He's
dad.
talking
very
about the
old, but I
two-legged. You
know
talking about
that-
two-legged bulls?
Fireplace
Snake-legged
mantle.
bull, that's
No,
right.
we gotta have this on the
What-
camera.
Camera bag.
I said to Paul,
You seem
why
to-
in the world don't you defend
Dave,
yourself? Get up
I'm
and
gonna
defend
know
yourself.
first.
This is a business
He
meeting.
said the Lord is
And
my
he said,
Lord.
I got the best
It's in there
attorney in the
somewhere.
whole world.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Why you said that? You said that with such a feeling.
Let me tell the
I
story.
Didn't, I didn't know that
Well,
you
he's a
were.
minister now. He
I
knows
didn't
his
know
life.
so you
I
can
know
see
about
better.
it. Helen's been refreshing my memory about this wonderful person.
Okay.
Come here, like
I
I'm
thought
gonna wipe
Elayne was
your
leaving.
chocolate off.
Irvin,
Can I wipe
Okay.
the chocolate off your face?
Irvin told the story last night about he was working at this place. I didn't know Irvin was so violent
I know, he was
in his
really
old
something.
age. But he was working at this place, and this pit bull grabbed him by the
Knee.
leg, and he said, I had a hold of a big long piece of pipe or something, and I came down on this dog's head with it. And he let loose. And the big fat owner of the house came out, who was a drug dealer anyway, and Irvin just said,
No, he shoved his stomach up against Irvin like that, and Irvin
Yeah,
says,
he
I
was-
didn't budge, I
he
just
was
stood
kind
there.
of intimidating, and Irvin said,
Tyler, don't do
you
that.
get that dog out of here or I'm going to kill him and then I'm going to kill you. And the guy who was renting the house came to see Irvin and he said, you know, he said, that man is upset. He says, he didn't sleep all night. You said you were going to kill him. And Irvin wouldn't take it back. He says, I mean it.
Irvin,
I didn't feel too good about it
He
either.
probably
after
thought
that.
it was
pit
the
bulls
mafia.
over there, and they were
Yeah,
drug dealers.
probably.
And he was farming that land, and these pit bulls were staked out around there.
And then anyway,
There was 3 of them.
oh yeah, he was a drug dealer. Anyway, after a while, Irvin found this kid, met this kid, he had a son, this guy, at the store. And so he was fishing for information, and he said, I haven't seen your dad around. Where is he? The kid says, well, somebody shot him.
And then Irvin says, good enough for him.
I guess he wasn't dead, but at least he was. Yeah, that's what it was. So they knew they were after him. They were after him, so he took off. They, he was a marked man, kind of.
Oh.
But I got to tell
So Irvin
you
didn't
a
have to
story
kill him.
about the little boy that was planted up. The preacher wanted to have the closing for his sermon at the end of it, and he hired a little boy to be up in the balcony with a canary or a dove in a cage. And then when he would say, "Come, Holy Spirit," he would let this dove out to fly around. See, terrific finish.
Take that tail off that jacket.
So
Leave it on there, I like it.
So at the appropriate time, he says, "Come, Holy Spirit." No doubt. So he rambled on a little more, and then he says, "Come, Holy Spirit." He kept doing it, and of course nothing happened. And then, so this little voice came from the rafters. "The cat ate the Holy Spirit. Should I throw the cat down?"
That's what you call a put-up job. Like a healing service.
I always like that when I can say it.
That was so funny.
It's a put-up job, Johnny.
Now, so we can mark the occasion of this thing, we should have Harold tell, when he arrived here and how long, what he's
And
been
how lost he
doing.
got last night?
Did you get lost?
He arrived here on the 3rd of June and spent some time in
Well, with
Woodburn.
Irvin, I just thought he might be too tired
Not
to
very
drive
much,
that
because he
far.
wanted
I
to get
think
close
Irvin
to the
was having a
breakfast
ball.
table down here.
Yeah, he loves
So
it.
he's been down here with Helen and Dale since
He loves it.
most of the time. Then last night he went down to Karen's and Dave's for a wonderful dinner. And then he conned Irvin Nyquist into bringing him down here, and the two wandered around town and finally found
With no
house.
gas.
No gas. That's the end of that. Now to finish the story about Pa.
Hi, I gotta go.
Oh, all right, you sweet thing, you.
Bye, Elayne.
Bye,
You
Lane.
almost sat on your
Take
lap.
I guess I
care
won't
of
see
yourself.
anymore. I got a better hug.
Is this all on video
Oh,
too?
I tell you.
I'm not growing anymore, though.
I tell you, this is going to be the most
Bye,
disappointing.
Elaine. Good to see you.
See you,
I'll see you again.
You'll be skinny next time I see
Yes.
Hey, you will
Hattie
let you
died.
know when the baby comes. Maybe you go up the hospital.
Hattie
and visit her.
died.
over there.
you. I gotta tell you that.
I know.
Oh, that's on the tape
She'll
too.
have to send them
Yeah.
a money.
Somebody got something to cut this price tag off?
I like it. I think it's attractive. Minnie Pearl never did take hers
I
off.
don't like it.
Everything, 100%.
Are you still playing that thing? Okay, so
Looks
then
real
You
good
got
on
some
you.
sun on you over there.
I'll take care of your boy. Finish up that.
so then after Dad left the church in Geddes, South Dakota in 1934, the family moved to Harrison, South Dakota, which is a few miles down the road, actually about 20 miles or so, where I started school. And they moved there in 1934 and lived there until 1936, when they moved back to Minnesota, where Dad was going to take over one of Grandpa's farms. But until the farmer that was running the place moved out, we lived in Adolph's house from 1936 to 1938.
The
When
rats
in
and the
October of 1938, we moved to the Stensas farm, or the South farm. And we lived there from 1938 until 1945. In January of 45, the family moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, 1720 Van Buren,
Elaine.
and they lived there until the fall of 46, so not very long, when they moved to Canada. And then, of course, they lived in Canada until 1948, when they moved out to Oregon. Woodburn, Oregon.
One picture left.
I have my camera.
I don't know if anybody's interested in all of that, but you sure got it.
Because as old as we are, we never know.
Is that pause notes?
Wound and everything.
These are my notes.
Push that button. Is it
I've been
a
making
hard
notes
Yeah, it's
day after
So all I
day
do is
after
push the
day.
button?
Now, there were only two things that I had on the list that we were going to try to get done with Harold's here, and we got started on one of them, but the other one
The
hasn't been
Korea
done.
thing. How old was
I want these
how
children to
old
take
was
them on.
Why
Martin
don't
when
you
he
sit
came
over
out
here
from
so
the
they
war
can
in
see you
Korea?
on the camera? What?
How old was
That jacket look good on you.
I think I was
What color?
18 and he would be about
They had
20.
a whole bunch of different colors.
So 20 years ago was
You're trying to
what?
figure out when he went into the service?
When he came out.
We haven't got time to wait for you
When
to
did he
figure
get
out
out?
who was how old.
I think Martin came out in the spring of 50.
Was he 20? He went to Bible school after that? So subtract.
He came out in the spring of 54.
Yeah, if you want.
That-
54.
Karen,
And I was,
That's the year I got
no
married to
talking
Lloyd.
in the
and-
pews.
Well, we're talking about the other videos,
And
the
so
ones that are
that's
really
45
award
years ago.
winners.
Well, we're trying to make this one of those, but we have to have some cooperation. Now, what Grace is talking about here is that one of the projects that I had lined up for when Harold came out here this time was to map out Marty's life from 1944 until 1953.
Well, you know what?
Because he's tried to forget that period of his life. And I've been trying to figure out when he was at Oscar, and when he was at Melvin Ingens, and when he was up in Canada working at the Harvest, and when he was out in Oregon, all the way up to the time he went into service. After that, I don't really care. But I'd sure like to know where he was at certain times. And here's the schedule. So you could work on this, except I don't want it lost. See, I made a little bit of a starter on that. Now, the other project that I thought we should try to work out when Harold was here was listing all the children in the family and where they want to be buried.
Oh, my word.
Well, my name is out there as a property owner at that Bel Passy place. Now, unless you want to cremate, which is cheaper. The boys found it out there. They got it all organized out there now.
Dave thought that was funny.
It's on the computer and
Well, how are
everything.
you going to do it, Dave? If somebody dies, we won't know what to do with them.
Just get Rodney's backhoe and dig a hole.
Do you know
What are you
something?
pointing that at me
Do you know
for,
what Al
Deborah?
and Daniel McCormick are buried out there by Grandpa and
The
Grandma
last
Ash when
funeral
were
he went
cremated?
to, they put
One of them
the-
was
the
cremated, and they
casket
just
in the
put
wrong
heads
hole.
right by
Would you
the other
believe
one.
there's some of the people of our
That
brothers
isn't
and sisters
pathetic.
that want to be cremated? You don't want to be cremated, do you?
Well, we were just discussing that on the way up here to this trip right
Well,
now.
they had treated with
And
her husband.
Johnny says it's kind of like a
Her mom
saying goodbye. And I said, well, I can't see anything worse than being burned up than being stuck way down in the hole in the
Betty
ground.
doesn't want to be buried in the ground.
Cemetery and
Well, I mean,
And,
it's
Carl
expensive.
doesn't
It's
want
about
anything.
$1,500 to be cremated. It's
Who cares
$4,500
about
to
the
have
cost?
it.
The point is, which way do you want to
There's
go?
$3,000 worth of groceries you can buy for somebody.
What do you
Lot
want?
of
He
different.
thinks of it in terms of groceries. Saving money on groceries.
I think
Pa said,
One day.
Pa had me go in there and help him pick out this casket. He said, now Grace, you stick to your guns if they start getting sentimental. This here box is just good enough. Buy some bags of groceries for some widows or something.
Oh, that was a problem.
And he said, you don't, this here box is plenty good enough to dig in the
Is it really
spring.
good? Is it really that much cheaper?
Yeah, I got it figured out because I went in there and got the appraisal and it's $4,500 for the
I guess
civilized.
it's pretty hard for the Lord to resurrect an Ashland.
That's what I think too. If you get lost at sea or something, the Lord has
So
to put
you
you
don't
back together
know
anyway.
which one you want then?
No, I'm not sure, but sort of weakening.
Yeah, I'm weakening on the
What's
cremation.
your
You're
thought,
weakening
Karen?
on it? You mean you
I don't know
want
where
to do
we're going to
that?
be buried. I don't really care.
Why?
I don't either, you're not here anyway.
I want to be scattered in the ocean.
And they're running out of space. That's why they're doing the cremations. They're
I
running
think
out of
I'd
land.
rather be buried.
Well, Ma always said it's not biblical to be
You know what?
cremated, but I
When
know.
I got, no,
Where's that
in
at?
India, it gets rid of germs too, like if people
You
have
think of
cancer
it?
and stuff, you know, it gets rid of germs. Anyway,
You wanna be cremated
I
too?
paid $150, Harold.
How about you two worried about
And
that?
they are running out of
Down the ground
space. You know, they had all the flooding
No,
back east.
23 years ago when we
Out on the ground floating down the road.
$400. Those lots of
That is not good. That's kind of sacrilegious.
Usually laughs.
You're gonna be a H #1 baby
Uh,
squad.
I think you ought to better quit this.
Debbie,
My arm's getting
Debbie.
tired.
It's a fact.
Debbie,
Doing that a lot.
you know, well,
You're
you
not
know,
gonna be able to understand it.
We might get, go up. The Lord might come back and we just go up.
Grace, do you remember what we used to call our backside when we were growing up?
Hind end.
Brothers are all with it.
Hinder.
Oh,
Not
hind
hind
end.
end. Hinder.
Oh, good. I'm glad we got that straight.
They're still busy too, probably. They done more on the shop.
Well, Lucas told me
Uh,
there was a
Grace,
word
were
in the
you with us
Bible that's
seated?
not a bad
Seated.
word. It means donkey. And I said, I know which
They got
one you
down
mean.
Pretty
Lucas,
much.
they
Well,
go
they
to
got
a
the
Christian
undercoat
school.
on.
And I said, yes, see, the
Yeah,
Lord
it's
will
King
be
James
on a
School, no
donkey.
doubt. No doubt a King James School.
I mean, you got
Yeah,
working for
fair
them.
enough.
3.
He's so cute though. I was
Another
reading a
guy
Bible
off
story
and
to
on.
him one night and he said, Grandma, I know where that is found. It's found in Genesis chapter
latest guy they
27.
hired was,
I thought, isn't that, he's got two
Jeremy.
great grandpas that are preachers.
And,
My
Ryan.
dad and his mother's.
Stop it for a minute because he's telling something he doesn't want recorded. Harold, get in on this.
No, no.